The third set will be played on Naro Station. Spawning in the top right-hand position is the blue Protoss player, green Protoss player from STX Seoul. His name is Mini.
His opponent spawns at the bottom left position of the map, playing for SKT1 as Red Protoss. His name is Parting. The score right now is 1-1 between the two teams, with Best taking out Innovation in set number 1 and Deer taking out Rain in set number 2.
So we got another PvP on our hands here. Twilight openings seem to be so common this game around. And looks like the camera really focused in there on the probes mining minerals. That is the most exciting thing currently happening in this game. We'll, of course, move on to bigger and better things as the game progresses here. We get the other tech paths unlocked here as we go into the Twilight tech, go into the Stargate tech, get expansions up, go with the Robo. You know, we can see it all.
Yeah, it really depends on how the players are going to play out today. For example, in set number 1, Deer Best decided to go for the early pressure against his opponent. It worked out. In set number 2, Deer decided to open up with the DTs. Yes, the DT opener did not work out, but with Best, Rain trying to commit heavily with the Gateway Army and trying to finish his opponent early into the game, it put Deer in a comfortable position and allowed him to come back into the game and crush his opponent.
Yeah. Notice the Parting. He scattered around his base, wanted to make sure that he was safe from any potential proxies. Good decision making by him. And, you know, Parting, he's a really aggressive player. That's kind of his style in PvP, so I would not be surprised one bit if we saw him go into the Twilight tech.
Definitely, and I wouldn't be surprised if he goes to the Blink instead of the Dark Shrine, because, you know, Dark Shrine, the DTs, yes, they eat apart on the probes really fast, but it's kind of luck-based too from time to time. If your opponent goes for the Robo, if they have a detection against the DT, even if you have the build perfectly worked out, it's not going to work out against your opponent. So Blink, you have some more room to maneuver your stalkers around. You can blink, you can use a micro to out-micro your opponent. So I have to say, Parting with Blink, Stalker, Micro, he can take out his opponent Mini today.
I completely agree with you on that. The Blink Stalker, that seems to be the unit for Parting to use when it comes to PvP. We have a second gateway on the way for Mini here. So just opening up with a pretty solid standard safe build. We could see an expansion from him. He can still go into any attack he wants, though. Second gateway for Parting as well. And their build orders will be revealed over the next few minutes. We'll see what they really want to open with this game. And the first scouting probe from Parting is going to be able to spot the second gateway. He'll see if there's 3 probes on each geyser as well. Also sees the Mothership Core in production.
Yeah, he knows that this is the same exact build that he is doing back at his main base, and the concept for these two players in this particular game today is to not die to early pressure from their opponent.
Yeah, indeed. Alright, Parting continues to he's bringing this probe back now. He could look for potential proxies around the map. I think that's what he intends on doing here. Well, going to park this probe over on the ledge. We could see him make a pylon or something over here potentially. It's a bit of an obvious spot, though. I don't think he'd actually do it there.
Yeah, well, we do have the Stalker and the Mothership Core moving out, and if it's rallied to the main base completely, the Stalkers are going to miss the probe by an inch over there, as we see it miss barely on the minimap. Actually,
pretty smart by Parting then, really just mind gaming his opponent here. All right, well, we got Stalkers around the map and Mothership Cores around the map as well. Something may get caught out of position here. And we do see the Mothership Core from Parting get attacked a few times by the Stalker, taking a little bit of shield damage. Going to be moved back, though.
Both players getting up to 3 gateways, and like you said, he loves to go for the gateway pressure against his opponent, but Mini is doing the same exact build.
Yep, all right, well, it looks Parting, he's got to know by now that there's pressure coming his way. So because it's on Parting's side of the map, he is going to be forced onto the defensive. His Mothership Core, though, it's moving towards the main base of Mini, and that means that there's going to be no Nexus Cannon for defense.
Yeah, well, it really wonders about what Parting is thinking right now. Does he think that he can actually defend with a handful of Stalkers back at the main base while using the Nexus, using the Mothership inside his opponent's main base to pick up as many probes as possible? I don't think that's the right decision, but also he needs to make sure that the Mothership Core arrives on safely.
Oh, the units are out of position for Mini. Time Warp goes down on Parting Stalkers as well, but you know, he's got the superior Stalker count, but these additional reinforcements will scare away Parting. And the Stalker, very low on health, does end up getting picked off there. Additional units are being warped, and we need to see a good force field there. Prevents one of the Stalkers from moving up into the main base. And Parting at the same time, he's going to send his Mothership Core into the main base of Mini. The Mothership Core for Mini, it's getting low on health. Is it going to get picked off there? The Mothership Core falls, and the Stalkers are continuing to do damage, while Parting also starts picking away at the economy of Mini in his main base. But at the same time, there's no 5 Stalkers. Parting forced to take his probes off the mineral line as well. He needs perfect control here if he wants to survive this attack.
If he just gets this perfect surround of the Stalkers, he's killing a lot of probes inside the main base right now. And as long as he makes sure those Stalkers do not leave the main base while taking him out completely, he can win this game, as he is dealing more severe economic damage inside his opponent's main base right now.
This additional Zealot is going to be annoying as well. The Mothership Core recalls to the main base here. Really low on health, though, and it ends up falling to the Stalkers. Parting now forced to pull all of his probes off the mineral line. It looks like he is going to be able to defend, but the worker count, it's actually ended up being very even between the two players.
Really nice micro by both of the players. The Mothership Core, yes, it did kill him with a lot of probes inside the main base, but Mini did warp in a Stalker, and Parting wasn't paying attention until the last second, where the HP was really low, and now we have a standoff in this little location over here where both players are, kind of too scared to push up the ramp or push down the ramp. But they also know that if their opponent pushes out, then they could just force field and win the engagement completely.
All right, Parting maintaining a very defensive posture here. He has 2 Zealots, though, moving towards his opponent's main base. And if these warp gates are on cooldown when the Zealots come through, then, there really is nothing that Mini can do to defend against them. He's going to be forced to warp in some units, I think, in a second here. And, the Sentry getting low on health. He needs to bring that back. Nice job using that Observer. And, the force field, that's good. And two units get stuck in here at the same time. The Zealot's now moving towards Mini's base. He's warping in another Sentry as well. He's going to need the force field in this position. The Mothership Core and additional units are warped in to defend against the Zealots as well. Another Sentry picked off. Parting doing his job to stay in this game. The supplies are still very even here. We have a War Prism on the way as well for Mini. This could be the thing that changes the tide of the game.
Yeah, well, the War Prism is out from Parting right now. I don't know what he's going to use it for right now. He could actually get the Stalkers inside the main base once again. One Stalker does get picked off, but the rest of the army does get picked off to inside the main base once again. And nice micro by Parting, using the War Prism to save the Stalkers.
Indeed, nice force field as well. Is going to be able to pick off that lone Stalker. Parting showing us why he's got some of the best control in the business here. Utilizing that War Prism buys him enough time to stay in this game. Just ridiculous control we're seeing here this game from Parting.
And because both players are warping in a lot of units, we're not going to see an expansion. And using the Warp Prism to forward drop those units over there. Really nice micro by Parting. Seems like he is going to win the engagement because of the Warp Prism micro that he has right now.
He's getting low on units. Many, additional units are being reinforced here as well. Those extra Stalkers here. The Warp Prism also taking some of the hits here. It's still anyone's game here, but it looks like Parting, he is going to be able to scare away Mini, at least for the time being. There's a lot of red Stalkers over there. Can they focus fire down the proper Stalkers in this position?
He needs to make sure the Warp Prism stays alive, and nice force field goes down once again. Yes, he is down in the army count, but because of the Warp Prism micro, he has been able to stay in this game against his opponent's constant pressure. But if he loses a Warp Prism, then Mini can overpower his opponent and finish the game.
And I'd love to see an Immortal from Parting right about now. That combined with the Warp Prism could change things. Oh no! One of the Stalkers gets picked off here.
Yeah, well, losing a Stalker right now, it does suck for Parting, but he needs to make sure the Warp Prism is alive. He was trying to save the Stalker over there, but it's better for the Warp Prism to stay inside the main base while the shield replenishes on the Warp Prism.
The Zealot getting 2 probe kills, gets a 3rd as well. That Zealot's going to pay for itself there, and almost gets a 4th, but it's picked off. We have an extra Observer now out for Parting. 27 to 23 probes. Parting is in the lead here. He's got the Warp Prism tech as well, but now there's the Mothership Core out as well for his opponent Trap, which he can use offensively should he desire in this situation.
Yeah, and the problem for Parting right now is he cannot easily move down the ramp, and he also needs to make sure that he doesn't lose too many Stalkers to those, little random force fields that Mini can do at the ramp over there, because he has the high ground vision against his opponent. Parting needs to play this smartly.
Yeah, he does. So just continuing to chrono out more and more gateway units. Actually a little bit surprising to not see as many Zealots here, but we have a big potential drop here from Parting. He's got a Warp Prism with 4 Zealots, and he can warp in more units here. At the same time, though, his army could end up getting trapped between some force fields here. Here comes the Warp Prism along with the additional units here. He's going to go ahead and drop some Zealots here. He's going to almost certainly force a Nexus Cannon as well to scare away this Warp Prism. Parting realizes this, and he's going to, just try to do a little bit of cute micro here, but beyond that, not too much.
Yeah, well, he could just warp in a lot of units right now, but it seems like he's just going to try to save the Zealots and get out of there, as he knows that warping in additional units over there is going to be suicidal. He is going to lose a lot of Zealots and maybe some maybe the Warp Prism at the natural. So he's going to warp in some Stalkers out of position.
All right, we do finally have an Immortal out, I believe, from the looks of things, but the problem is the expansion is going to complete really soon here for Mini, and also at the same time, good force field's going to separate the Stalkers and the Zealots, with the Warp Prism Micro continuing to be used as kind of like a soft counter for the force fields here that Min is using.
The problem right now is, even if Parting does a nice job, either he needs to kill a lot of probes force to cancel, because he cannot push down this ramp right now. He has no Archons, he has no Colossus, he cannot move down the ramp to expand. While Mini, all he has to do is just sit over here, so now he's going to use the hallucinated Colossus to scare his opponent, but he knows that it's hallucinated.
Oh no.
And nice force field goes down, trapping the Immortal.
The best force fields ever from Mini there. Look at how many units he's trapped in between those two force fields. The Immortals are going to get picked off, the Zealots are going to get picked off as well. Parting making a crucial mistake there, trying to, be overly aggressive, using the Colossus as a way to break out there, but, it's just, a gimmick trick here on Parting's end, and, trapped now. He's secured an expansion. He's ahead in supply over his opponent, and just, Parting keeps losing units here now to these additional force fields. More units now being warped in from the additional pylon. Reinforcements have arrived for Mini. He's going to be able to maintain this position for as long as he wants. More force fields go down, trapping even more units. And Parting, it looks like he may end up losing this match here. Another great force field goes down, picks off even more Stalkers here, and now the gateway count is simply overwhelming for Mini. It looks like he's poised to take the third match and take out his opponent, Parting.
Yeah, he just has too many Stalkers over there. One Immortal, yes, Immortals are great against the Stalkers, but not if there's too many Stalkers.
GG!
It's called an STX Souls Mini, takes set number 3. And you called it a mistake by Parting. It was a desperate move. He needed to move out to take the natural expansion in order to stay in the game. Hallucinated Colossus, nice decision. The problem is, Mini had the Observer, and he saw that it was a hallucinated Colossus.
Parting looking like he's hit pretty bad by that loss there, so you know what? The STX Seoul Protoss players, they're doing their job. They are keeping STX Seoul in this, and not just in this, they're now ahead of SK Telecom as the match score is now 2-1, with STX Seoul in the lead over their opponents, SK Telecom T1. The next match is going to be Classic versus Fantasy, and we'll have that for you guys after this commercial break.